Have you noticed it's becoming easier, and oddly comforting, to let calls go to voicemail, to pause at the door and hope the knock fades away? You're not turning into a gloomy hermit. What you're experiencing is a natural shift that comes with aging. And stay with me, because understanding it could change how you feel about yourself. By the end of this video, you'll discover 6 powerful psychological reasons why seeking solitude is not only normal, but actually healthy, and why embracing this shift just might bring you more peace than ever before. If that resonates with you, go ahead and stick around, because I've got something here that speaks right to the heart. Join me for a few minutes. I promise you'll see yourself reflected in what I share. Reason number 1. Your tolerance for nonsense has dropped to 0. Think back. When you were younger, you weathered gossip, endless small talk, people who talked at you, but rarely to you. With time, though, all that emotional noise wears thin. Now you don't fake laughs, you walk away from draining drama. It's not rudeness, it's self-preservation. And that clarity sets the tone for everything else. Reason number 2. Your priorities shift. You start asking new questions. How much energy do I have today? Who actually lifts me up when I speak to them? Who drains me? Who do I trust? You're not chasing popularity or packed calendars anymore. You're chasing peace. You want depth, not noise. Conversations that feed your soul, not just fill the air. People who understand you without needing explanations. And if those people aren't available, silence becomes your sanctuary. That's not loneliness, that's wisdom. Reason number 3, grief. As you age, loss becomes more frequent. Friends move away, loved ones pass, old bonds fade. Each loss silently shrinks your social world, and you might not even notice it happening. But over time, the desire to rebuild it fades too. That's not depression. It's a sacred realization. Time is limited, and you want to spend it with people who feel like home. Your soul whispers, I've loved deeply, I've lost deeply, and now I only have space for what's safe, real, and healing. Reason number 4, social fatigue. Not the kind a nap can fix, a deeper kind. After decades of navigating personalities, hosting, pleasing, and managing group dynamics, it wears you down. A 1-hour chat can wipe you out. A noisy dinner can feel like a marathon. So you stop saying yes to everything. You protect your peace like it's a treasure, because it is. And the less you chase external validation, the more you realize how calm life can be when you're not constantly performing. Let's go even deeper. Reason number 5 is self-awareness. You finally know yourself, not the version others expected, but the real one. You've lived enough to recognize what triggers you, what heals you, and what your soul needs to stay at peace. And with that comes a quiet but powerful instinct to protect your inner space. You stop forcing yourself into conversations that leave you feeling empty. You walk away from people who bring back old pain, not to punish them but to care for yourself. That's not avoidance, that's emotional maturity. And time, reason number 6, begins to feel different. When you're younger, time feels endless. You waste hours without a second thought, but now an hour is precious. You feel the weight of how you spend it, who you give it to, and what it costs you, not just in minutes, but in energy and emotional weight. So you begin investing that time differently. You don't accept every invitation. You don't answer every call. You spend more afternoons in solitude, not out of sadness, but because your body, your spirit, your entire being asks for it. And you listen. Here's the part many want to say out loud. People might start to question you. They'll say you've changed, that you're not as social as you once were, that you're pulling away. And they're right. You have changed. But not in the way they think. You've stopped performing. You've stopped adjusting your energy to fit into spaces that no longer feel right. You've learned that peace is worth protecting, even if it means disappointing others. And you finally understand something liberating. You are not here to entertain, impress, or explain yourself to everyone. You're here to live honestly, to say no without guilt, to say yes only when your heart agrees. And if that means fewer people, quieter nights, and simpler days, so be it. Because what you gain in return, clarity, calm, authenticity, is worth far more than approval. And here's something most people don't realize. This kind of inner alignment, this reduction in social noise, can actually extend your life. Studies show that reducing emotional stress and protecting your mental space isn't just good for your heart, it is good for your longevity. You begin to heal from years of overgiving. You begin to rest in your own presence. You stop rushing. You observe more, react less. You no longer chase energy that doesn't match yours. And the beauty? You attract the right people without effort. Because the ones who stay, the ones who find you in your quiet, they are the ones who truly see you. Let's talk about something rarely discussed: emotional labor. For years, maybe decades, you've been the glue. The one who remembered birthdays, organized get-togethers, checked in, reached out, kept the family or friend group connected. But now, something inside you has shifted. You start asking, who's holding me together? If the answer is no one, then something becomes clear. You've been running on emotional autopilot, giving and giving while your own well runs dry. And eventually, you begin to step back. Not to punish anyone, but because your spirit is tired. You stop reaching out first. You stop chasing relationships that only survive when you're the one doing the work. That isn't bitterness. That's balance. And when some people fade away as a result, you let them. Because what remains, those who stay without needing to be held in place, are gold. They're the ones who see you, even in your silence. Let's not forget the role of your body in all of this. Aging brings physical changes that affect how we relate socially. You may get tired faster. Noise feels more overwhelming. Maybe your knees ache, or your back protests after sitting too long. Suddenly, the idea of a noisy dinner out or a long group event doesn't sound fun. It sounds like effort, like something you need to recover from. So you make different choices. You decline more often. You favor quiet cafes over crowded restaurants, afternoon walks over late-night parties. You stop pushing your body to fit a life that no longer fits you. Instead, you begin designing your life to support your body. And that shift brings something powerful: permission. You give yourself permission to rest, to say no, to do less. You listen to your body and your energy, and you stop apologizing for needing a slower pace. There's another layer to all of this: identity. As you age, your identity shifts. You're no longer the parent of young children. Maybe you've retired. Maybe your roles in life have changed completely. And when identity changes, your social world naturally follows. The people you once bonded with, co-workers, fellow parents, younger friends, they might not feel as close now. Not because of conflict, but because your lives no longer mirror each other. You're moving in a different rhythm now. And that's okay. You're not meant to hold on to every connection forever. In fact, letting go is sometimes the healthiest thing you can do. Because what you're making space for, those peaceful mornings, the phone call from someone who truly gets you, the walk where you don't have to perform or explain yourself, that is what your soul has been craving. Less noise, more meaning, less busyness, more presence. You're not rejecting people, you're refining your life. And yes, at first that can feel lonely, but eventually it becomes something else: clarity. Some people will never understand this. They'll say, "You used to be so social," or "Why don't you come out anymore?" And in those moments you might struggle to explain. Because how do you condense years, decades of growth, change, and reflection into a single polite sentence? The truth is, you don't have to. You no longer owe anyone an explanation for the peace you choose. That's the quiet liberation that comes with age. You've earned the right to live on your terms. Maybe your weekend calendar is empty. Maybe your phone hasn't rung in days. Maybe you spent your afternoon doing absolutely nothing. Just sitting in a chair, staring out the window, cup of tea in hand, and your heart felt full. That isn't loneliness. That's arrival. This is what it feels like when your life starts fitting just right. When you stop chasing. When you stop adjusting yourself for the comfort of others. When you start being fully, unapologetically yourself. And then something unexpected happens. When you stop trying to keep people around, the right ones begin to show up. Not out of obligation, not out of habit, but because they're drawn to the real you, the quiet, grounded, present version of you. You stop forcing conversations. They start flowing naturally. You no longer schedule companionship just to fill the silence. Instead, connection becomes sacred. Something that happens when it's meant to, not when it's demanded. And those rare few who stay, they're different. They don't need the old version of you, the people pleaser, the entertainer, the always available one. They appreciate your presence as it is now, still, simple, full of meaning. Here's the beautiful irony. The less you strive to connect, the deeper the connections become, because they're built not on performance but on presence, not on appearances but on essence. And perhaps most surprisingly, you feel more you than ever before. Not in the loudness of crowds, but in the stillness of being. You are no longer seeking to be seen. You simply are. And in that being, the right people see you clearly. This is not a retreat from life. This is the heart of life. Less noise, more truth, less effort, more peace. And here's the part most people overlook. This shift, this calm, quiet evolution you're experiencing, isn't just psychological or emotional. It's biological. It's your mind, body, and spirit aligning after years of trying to meet everyone else's expectations. And something incredible happens when you finally stop forcing yourself to fit the noise. Your nervous system relaxes, your breath deepens, your body begins to heal, not just physically but emotionally, because you're no longer spending energy on what drains you. You're investing it in what restores you. That's why so many elders seem calmer, more rooted, less reactive. They're not cold, they're clear. They've stopped trying to fix what's not theirs to fix. They've stopped living on other people's timelines. They've begun honoring their own rhythm. It's not that they have fewer feelings. They've just learned how to sit with them without letting them run the show. And from that space of stillness comes a kind of joy that can't be faked. A joy not of entertainment or excitement, but of peace, of presence, of finally belonging to yourself. So, if you found yourself becoming quieter, more selective, more withdrawn, it's not a sign that you're fading. It's a sign that you're blooming, peeling away everything that doesn't serve you, creating a life that feels aligned, authentic, and deeply your own. You're not becoming less social. You're becoming more you. And here is the invitation. If these words felt like home, if you saw yourself in every sentence, don't let this be the last time we connect. Subscribe to the channel. We're building a quiet corner here for people just like you. No noise, no pressure, just real talk, soul-deep stories, and the kind of peace you've earned.